Good evening, guys. It's Miss Empty Nester, and I am here this evening, or today, whichever it is, to talk about a subject that... Uh-oh! My kitty cat knocked over a Christmas bulb. I would like to discuss the narcissist and the narcissistic personality disorder. So, first of all, we need to define what a narcissist is. And a narcissist is a person who has an inflated ego or a grandiose opinion of themselves. So that would mean that they have an inflated ego. They have their opinion of themselves is huge. So technically, it is a person who has an excessive interest and admiration of themselves. The narcissistic personality disorder is actually a mental condition, and in which people have an inflated sense of self. They have a deep need and desire for attention and admiration, and they seek that out. They seek to fulfill that need. They lack empathy and feelings for others. So it's all about me, myself, no one else. I have to be the center of attention. I have to be the focus. If I'm not the center, or if you have an opinion that sways from my opinion, no. Conversation is over. You can go on your way. You can leave. It has to be all about the narcissist. They tend to become upset and disappointed when they don't get all of the attention or limelight. And that's just as I just spoke about. If they're not the center of attention and they don't have all eyes on them, then they will either make their way out of the setting, or they will run the show until they are center of attention. So they may cause, say if it's in a group setting, and there are many individuals, like a birthday party. Say there's a birthday party. And obviously, at a birthday party, the center of attention most generally goes to the person whose birthday it is. So let's say that the narcissistic person is in that setting, and they aren't getting the attention often. If they haven't demanded it or been rude enough to make all eyes on them, they will cause some type of distraction, such as they'll fake an illness or they'll fake an injury just so that attention is brought back to them. For example, they might fall, they might pretend that they're choking, they might pretend that they're having some type of ailment so they can get that limelight back on them. For the narcissistic person, relationships are extremely difficult. And they're difficult because we all know in relationships they aren't a one-way street. It isn't just one person's feelings, one person's ideas, it's about the couple. It's about, I'm going to give and I'm going to take, and I'm going to expect my husband or my best friend is going to be give and take, because it can't be one way. If it's one way, most generally there's a lot of arguing. It's just destined to not work out. It's not going to work out right. Or one or both people are going to be extremely miserable, because a lot of their time is going to be spent arguing and in conflict. The narcissistic personality, they tend to have a need for drama and conflict. And what causes the drama and conflict is because not everybody on this God's green earth have the same opinion. They just don't. And if I sway from the narcissistic opinion and I come on a platform or in conversation and do things a certain way or say things a certain way as viewpoints of my own, the narcissistic person is they're not going to tolerate that. So they're going to either switch my words around, They're going to redirect the focus and the attention, and they're going to make it about them. It truly is a very tragic and sad condition. It really is. And one thing about the narcissistic personality disorder and narcissism is that there's treatment. Most of the time, it's medication. But I think, obviously, the person who is the narcissist, they're going to have a hard time believing if someone says, hey, you're a narcissistic person, or you have narcissistic personality disorder. Of course they're not going to believe that, because they don't believe anything other than what they think they believe to them in their head. So a lot of times it goes untreated. Symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder or a narcissist are as follows, or these are a few that I have found. And we have an exaggerated sense of self. We have the sense of entitlement, and they require the constant excessive admiration that we discussed before. They expect to be superior to all others. Also, their accomplishments and achievements are so much better and always so much bigger and juicier than any others. Their achievements, or a lot of people, or many people, or some people have businesses. And if the narcissistic person has a business, they have the absolute best business. There are no other businesses but their business. And they often will make up lies, they'll make up fantasies, they'll make up stories that make themselves or their business or whatever. It could be an item. It could be a possession, and they are going to make sure that they one up everybody else. And again, it talks about monopolizing and dictating conversations. They also, the narcissistic person, they require a lot of special favors. They'll ask for special treatment, they'll ask for special favors, or they will ask you for certain things. And they have a sense of entitlement to those possessions or to those things. Sophie. Moving on. They take advantage of others. They take advantage of others to get what they want from others. They have an inability and an unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others aside from themselves. They are envious of others and believe that they themselves are envied by others. So they're envious of others who maybe have the limelight or maybe have something that they don't, and they feel that persons such as you and I, that we are envious and we want exactly what they have. We want to be them. They also believe that they possess the absolute best. So we stated that before. They think their car, they think their phone, they think their life in general is so much better and bigger than the next person. So now we know what the narcissistic person is, and we know what narcissistic personality disorder is. Now let's think, why? What causes someone to be a narcissist or have the disorder? And there are 3 causes, perhaps more. I'm not a doctor. This video is clearly enlightening others to what I've learned from credible sources, and that would be like WebMD. So first would be their environment and their upbringing. That plays a huge factor in the narcissistic person and the narcissistic personality disorder. They either, one, they have been had a huge affection and admiration towards them that is just all admiration and nothing more than that. On the flip side of that, they have been where they haven't received any. It's either an excessive adoration or a lack thereof. The next one is And the lack thereof would be they would receive excessive criticism. So they're either overindulged by affection, or they have they've been criticized and not given the admiration. Genetics is the next thing that could cause the narcissistic personality disorder and someone to be a narcissist. And obviously, genetics are just characteristics that we've inherited. And finally, I thought there was 3: the environment, upbringing, genetics. I thought there was one more. Sorry guys for the delay. Neurology. And that is the connection between the brain and the thinking. So it is the neurological side of things. The brain to the thinking, to what goes in and what comes out. And the good thing about the narcissistic personality disorder and the narcissist is that there is treatment, and we discussed this prior. But in order for the narcissistic person to receive that treatment, they must admit that they have an issue. And that, like I said, is that's a tough one. Perhaps if I think one things that's going to be a good sign to the narcissistic person is, hey, where are all my friends? Why are my relationships failing? Why is it difficult for me to keep those around me? Because that's one thing that eventually, I think at first, it isn't something that we notice about someone. I think it takes a repeat or a more than one occasion interaction with this person before we end up realizing, hey, my goodness, why does everything have to be about you? It's not about you, everything. 99.5% of the time, it can't be about you 100%. It's got to be about other people. So the treatment for that would be there are medications. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that it has maybe provided a little bit of education to you so you can learn a little bit more about the narcissistic personality. And I'm sure each and every one of us know of someone who has this disability and this personality trait. However, like I said, it's extremely hard for one to convince someone else that they have this. So basically, you either love them or leave them. You either accept them for who they are and acknowledge that I can't change them, so I'm going to have to put up some boundaries. And I'm going to only tolerate so much, and I won't be someone else's, I'll only be treated this way for so long until I need to exit myself. So those are things we need to think of. Just set boundaries. Set boundaries on how you wish to be treated. And if that person can't respect those boundaries, then you just need to move on. Because you do not want to be, you don't want to be brought down. You yourself, that you get hurt feelings. Those of us who have empathy, and that's one of my primal instincts, is empathy and how I treat someone and how they treat me. And if I'm in a situation where I constantly get my feelings hurt and I'm not, my input doesn't matter and I'm not appreciated or my views aren't shared, you just don't want to, set yourself up to be hurt or in a toxic relationship. So I'm going to end this video now, and I hope to see you all or hear from you all in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. And I will not, I'm not going to be removing comments. I feel like everyone has a right to their opinion, and if they choose to leave it below, then they choose to leave it below. However, I will not tolerate any racism or derogatory comments made about someone's, be it religion, sexuality, or their ethnicity. So feel free to leave me a comment, and you guys have a good day, and I'll see you sometime soon, hopefully on a live stream. I do have a couple of videos that are coming, so I may be in the same outfit in the next ones to come. So you guys have a good day, and I'll see you soon.